close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song.
This is a test. This is an overlay test.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Yo, yo, yo. Twitch, what is up? YouTube, what is up? Facebook, what is up? Internet, what is up? It's your boy, John Penn. We're at it again. Yeah, we're gonna do a tier list today. But real quick, I'm actually gonna switch mics real quick. Give me a second. All right, cool. So today's stream we are going to do a tier list, starting out with my favorite show. One of my favorite shows. It's actually my favorite sitcom. My favorite sitcom, which is Seinfeld. So let's go over these characters, yeah. Let's go. So starting off, we got Crazy Joe Davola. Also, I didn't make this list. I went to tiermaker.com, and then this Seinfeld list. Someone already made this shit. So yeah. But here we are. Starting off with Joe Davola. Joe was an interesting character because he freaked out everybody he interacted with, and he was legit crazy, which is cool. And he was a stalker, which is not cool. But his impact was pretty important. So I think I'm going to start with B, with Joe Davola. We have George's mom next. I found her annoying, and a proper reflection as to why George has his issues he does in this show, because of his relationship he has with his mother and father. I can't remember her actual name, but Mrs. Costanza, I will also give her a B because of her importance of driving George into who he is and continues to be throughout the series. Next, we have Frank Costanza. I'm going to give him S tier. I'm a celebrator and huge believer of Festivus. And so I do totally believe that Festivus for the rest of us, feats of strength, very important things to follow if you are trying to be successful in life. You can't have all these reaching expectations and not really be without Frank. Yeah, Ben Stiller's dad is fucking awesome as an actor and a person himself. So just the overall, because I think this was the second casting of the character, and I think this was much better than the first guy they had initially for George's father. So, I'm going to give him an S. Next up, we have George, Frank's son. And George is like the epitome of just a bad character overall. You know what I mean? He's cheap. He's a terrible friend. He's a liar. He doesn't keep it 100. Sure, his intent is okay, but he himself is horrible. But he has my favorite moments. Young Arthur Vandelay, the architect, the marine biologist, George Costanza. He also gets S tier. We have my favorite, the lawyer, Jackie Childs. Jackie, I'm gonna put him in the A tier. His acumen of being an attorney is pretty spot on for Johnny Cochran as a parody character. And so I believe that his portrayal of who he is and what he was portraying was the spot on representation, especially during the late 90s and to the mid to late 90s. It was just spot on. To me, it was perfect. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Jackie Childs is by far great. His lawyering skills were so good. The only bad thing about it that I would say is just how he truly didn't have much control over his clients a lot of the time. So it is what it is. Jackie gets an A for me. Let's go on. Namesake. Jerry motherfucking Seinfeld, yeah? He's the driver of the show. He's a horrible actor. Great stand-up comedian. But his acting is shit. And oftentimes is pretty cringe, especially from his novice skills. So I'm going to put him in A. I'm only giving him A because it is his show. Otherwise, he'd go in a B. But he also has some great moments that make everything pretty great, in my opinion. I'm not going to get into the person. And I'm not really going to talk about Jerry's personal life. But on the show, he was important. Also salacious, scandalous, pretty horrible person as well. But not the best, not one of the top tier castmates of the show. Let's move on. Kenny Bania. Let's go. The best, Jerry, the best. He was pretty annoying, to be honest. I believe that's what his character was for. He hovered around Jerry in a lot of different ways. And so having him around was just great to see because he backed off. He portrayed a opposite of Jerry so well, where everything was it became, when Jerry was having a downfall, his shit was going up. So Kenny was like a rubber band. It was great. I loved it. So I'm gonna put Kenny Bania in the A tier. And now we have Cosmo motherfucking Kramer. I'm putting him in S tier. He was great. Every facet of his character played to perfection. From the annoying neighbor to the beggar to the inventor to the creator to the guy who just always stumbles into great luck until his luck runs out. Kramer is great. He embodied the craziness of Seinfeld in a whole, and with that reason, he is going in S tier. Elaine Benez, putting her in A tier. She would be an S tier, but I found myself skipping a lot of her shit. Not a lot, but during some of her moments, like when she was shopping with Mr. Peterson. Um, and when she was a writer, like all that shit was meh. I really loved her reactions that she had with David Puddy, and because of their dynamic, he's also going to be put into the A tier. David Puddy and Elaine were like the perfect couple of who not to be in a couple with. To me, they created a perfect dichotomy of don't settle just for the sake of settling. And it's just crazy how their shit was so different, but yet they worked so well together. I loved it. So Puddy and Elaine both get an A. Next we have Mickey. He gets a D. I don't fuck with Mickey. I didn't like him as a character. Didn't like him when he appeared in the show. I felt as though a lot of his shit that he was doing could have been completely avoidable. He was fucking up Kramer's flow a lot. And it just, to me, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Now we have Jerry's dad. He's getting a C. He was really boring a lot. And often just bad. Flat out just bad. His character also, I think, had three. I think he had 3 different versions of himself prior to them sticking with this one. 2 or 3 as well, but I never liked any of them. None of Jerry's dad's characters were good to me. So yeah, that's boring to me. So he was boring. Now we have Newman. Newman goes into A tier. I give him B. He had a lot of fuck ups. A lot of fuck ups that were completely avoidable for humans. You feel me? So I love if he wasn't as dumb and petty as he was, he would be an S tier, but because of a lot of the dumb shit he did, he goes into the B tier. Next up, we have the Soup Nazi. I'm going to put him in A tier because he only appeared in 1 episode, but his impact is eternal. No soup for you. Greatest shit ever. Greatest shit ever. I would have put him in S, but his downfall in the episode is pretty stupid. If he was better than, if he was a better person than what he was, that shit wouldn't have happened. So, it is what it is. Susan, D. She was horrible. She was boring. As an on-screen love interest of George, they sucked. To me, they just never were good together. She was literally the most boring character to me on the show. Out of every other character, more than Mickey, I hated when Susan was on screen. She was the most boring thing ever. When I was younger and I watched the show, I used to think that I thought she died in real life with the envelope shit. But once I read into it, once I got older and found out how she actually died on the show and why was because the chemistry was bad, I totally understood. Totally understood that. And so, yeah, she's the fucking worst. And last but not least, we have Uncle Leo. He gets a C because he was a nuance. And after like season 3, whenever he showed up, I would get really annoyed along with Jerry because he just, to me, he never meant anything good. So he sucked, in my opinion. He was a bright spot at first, and then ended up being a pretty low spot to me as a character. So now that we have all the characters laid out, let's actually organize this to see how it really would look. D stays the same. C, we swap Uncle Leo with his brother. Uncle Leo teeters the line between B and C in my personal opinion, but I'm gonna leave him where he is. I'm going to put Newman at the top of the B tier. Newman also teeters along the line of A and B, but for my opinion, he's had a lot of just like mistakable shit. But looking at this, Banya and Jerry are both B's. That's the order that I would have the B's in. Actually, yeah. We go Newman, Jerry, Joe, George's mom, and Kenny. That's the B tier. I'm A-okay with that. And then for A tier, we have Jackie Childs, Elaine Bennett, David Puddy, and Soup Nazi. Swap this. And then that's the order I would have them in. Puddy, top of the A tier because he's the 8-ball. Can't beat the 8-ball. Hey. Funniest shit ever. And then when he was also a face painter, I think that was also the same episode. But yeah, crazy shit. Elaine is... She has a lot of stupid moments for me, which is why I'm not going to put her any higher than what she is. Jackie Childs, his clients' reactions and actions of after he would get them either huge options for what they could do, they just fuck it up. So he needs better control. And then lastly, for the A tier, the Soup Nazi. Since he wasn't around much, he doesn't get higher than that. But his impact, phenomenal, I would say. And then for S tier, we have Frank, George, and Kramer. I would do it like that. George Costanza is the leader of the board, in my opinion. And then we have Kramer, and we have Frank. George, to me, is the greatest fucking force on the show just because of his conniving ways. He's the playoff character for every single person on here, and he does it very well. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kramer, being the cuckoo, goofy neighbor, made everything great. Added a great comic effect for comedic timing on a comedy show to make it even better. So that was great. And then lastly, in the S tier, we have Frank Costanza, the third best character on the show, in my opinion, because of how stupid he was in the best way. I was never bored with his character. Everything he did made me laugh, and he was the third best part of the show for me. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do Serial. And then we're going to do NBA. We're going to wrap it up with NBA players. Let's just do this. I'm just do it out like this. I will explain in a moment. All right. Tier list for cereal, right? It's already in order for me, right? So we have Count Chocula, not a fan. Way too sweet, right? And the marshmallows fucking suck, in my opinion. Cookie Crisp is horrible. They used to be good. They must have changed the formula or something recently. To does not make it as good. Special K and cornflakes equal shit to me. They aren't good. They're bland, but their blandness is gross as well. So I'm just not a fan of that. Oh shit. Switch these up. There we go. Lucky Charms, too sweet. Same reason for count. And Fruit Loops, they get soggy after 23 seconds. Not a fan of soggy cereal. And then over time, they just stop tasting good. Cheerios, bland and not good. Lucky Smacks looks like roaches, and their taste is sometimes overbearing with sweetness. Corn Pops, I stopped liking Corn Pops after they started tasting like styrofoam to me. Trix, literally soggies just as fast, if not faster, than Fruit Loops. And the fruity tasting milk does not taste well to me. It actually has made me sick a few times. So I'm not a fan of that. And honeycombs, because of how big they are and how quickly they sog, not a fan of that. They get soggy within like the first minute of you pouring your milk. And that fucking sucks. For receipts here, we have apple cinnamon Cheerios, Apple Jacks. They're roughly the same to me. Apple Jacks is way sweeter. The Cheerios get soggy too quickly, so neither of them are a favorite to me. Fruity Pebbles gets way too soggy. Golden Crisp, the same as Honey Smacks. Looks like roaches. I don't like that. Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles, both these bitches get soggy way too quickly. And Rice Krispies is just boring and just doesn't really have a taste. The sogginess doesn't matter because it's the way it's shaped doesn't impact it as much. And now for the beats here, we have Captain Crunch, Rice Chex, Frosted Mini Wheats, Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Krispies, Berry Crunch, and Cocoa Puffs. Arrange it like this. Alright, so Captain Crunch. There we go. So Frosted Flakes is the best B tier cereal for me. It's a classic. It's not too sweet, and it has tasted the same throughout my life. Cocoa Krispies they literally take the formula of Rice Krispies and they get rid of the quick sogginess that Cocoa Pebbles has, and it tastes so good. Cocoa Puffs are just as chocolatey as Rice Krispies, but their shape doesn't allow the sogginess to the milk to get as soggy as quickly as it does. So to me, it allows it to just taste good. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the puffs. They used to be really good, right? And but Cocoa Puffs to me, they don't get soggy, and they keep the chocolate taste throughout. And the chocolate milk that it creates after the cereal is fucking delicious. And then we have Frosted Mini Wheats. It's a full breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. You get full after you actually eat a bowl, which to me is fucking phenomenal because I smoke a lot of weed, and so when I have the munchies, I eat a single bowl and I'm straight. We got Berry Crunch and Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch is overall great. I'm a fan of it. It's the taste, it's the crunchiness. It doesn't get soggy quickly, and it's just good shit. And then Rice Chex is literally a better version of Chex. The flakes are delicious. You could actually put a little bit of sugar in it yourself, and it doesn't become overbearing. And you can even eat it plain, and the plainness of it doesn't suck. Like, it doesn't taste like you're eating styrofoam. It tastes as though you're just eating like light wheat, but like good tasting wheat. So yeah, that's the B tier. I think it's pretty solid. For A tier, we have Raisin Bran Crunch. I'm actually, fuck it. I'm actually going to put this in S tier for me. You'll see why. So we have, let's actually organize it. So Rice Krispie Treats are my favorite cereal that I used to have as a child. And then once I grew up, I didn't have these for years. Had them again recently, and I was like, wow, these just took me all the way back to like a positive shit. And it's so great. It's made me feel like nostalgic in a positive light that I don't get to experience a lot of often. So it was a good treat, a good road to go on. Raisin Bran is the shit. It's just the shit. It's delicious cereal, slightly healthy, and it gets the job done. It almost gets you full after the first bowl. You gotta have like a bowl and a half before you're full, for me at least. Before it becomes delicious. I mean, not delicious. Before it fills you up all the way. Cinnamon Toast Crunch to me is the last of A. I teeter between that and B, between A and B for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because sometimes Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good. Sometimes to me it's overbearing, and so I just leave it. I just leave it be because it's always going to be good for the most part. It's about 80-20. So that's why it teeters onto B, because I've had a few bad boxes. Pardon me. And last, for the S tier, let us arrange this in terms of greatness. So Reese's Puff, the best cereal on this list to me. And it's my favorite cereal, followed by Golden Grams, which they do not have on here, unfortunately. So I'm salty about that. Reese's Puffs takes the best of both worlds, of both peanut butter and chocolate, and it puts them into one cereal, and it's delicious. So it hits. Raisin Bran Crunch takes the idea of Raisin Brans and adds some crunchiness to it, which makes it damn near similar to Honey Bunches of Oats. And these two are like really good, crispy breakfast cereals that get you started on the day on like a positive note mentally, at least for me. Peanut Butter Crunch is the shit. It's always good. I have never had a bad box of it ever in my life. It would be higher, but sometimes it becomes overbearing of just peanut butter, so I don't have it as high as other shit. And Honey Nut Cheerios gets too sweet at times, which is why it's the last of the S tier. So, in my opinion, I think this wraps up my cereal tier pretty well. Blast me on what? So yeah, that's my tier list. I got a comment, so let's see what their response is before I proceed on to the last one. Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, that shit is that's probably why. If you look at the poop at the top, it's got 988 dislikes. So yeah, it's got 988 dislikes. I think it's because that it doesn't have Golden Grams, to be honest. So yeah, that's my cereal tier. Let's move on to the last one. We're doing the best 30 players going into this year. So I'm actually going to take my time doing this and try to talk through it. A lot of people don't know, but I'm a huge sports fan. It's basketball season. We back. Let's fucking go. I'll be streaming some 2K later, actually. Maybe. I actually don't know what I'm going to stream in terms of gaming later today. But I'm going to stream something. Let's get this list fucking cracking, right? So with this one, I'm going to do it the way I did the Seinfeld. I'm going to put them where I believe they go. And then after I put them there, I'll organize it after. So let's go. Starting off with book. A, Giannis. S, Bradley Beal, A. Brown, A. Jimmy Butler, yeah, I'll give him an A. AD, A. KD, S. Embiid, A. Paul George, A. Gobert, I put him at B. I need to see him score more. Harden's an A. BI, I also put him at B. Joker, reigning MVP, he's at A. Holiday, I'll put him at B. Kawhi's a D because he's not playing. Kyrie's a D, he's not playing. LeBron is S. Zach is A. A. B. 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 Randall, I'll give him a C. Curry, I'll put at A. I watched Jason Tatum play last night, and that shit was not cool. I will put him at B for right now. May edit this. Cat, I'll put him in C right now as well. Westbrook C. Zion a B, and Trey an A. Now let's organize it, yeah. D, I have these. Since they aren't playing, they don't have a point. Popeye cereal. Hey, yo, this Popeye shit look like slave food, bro. I'm not okay with this. Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is not. Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat this shit. I wouldn't eat this shit to save my life. Slave food. All right. So yeah, I'll put Kawhi ahead of Kyrie because I have a feeling that Kawhi is going to play before Kyrie. So that is what it is. See, I will put Cat ahead of Julius Randle for right now. I need to see more post play and not just shooting from Cat. I need him to develop into a dominant big man on the interior and not just mid-range and from deep. Randall, he's improving for sure. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on this list. He's doing pretty well. But, yeah, once he improves better, we'll see. Damn, you got the bag cereal. We probably did, too, when I was younger. Not getting that shit as an adult. I'm straight. And Westbrook, he played horrible on their opening night, like literally like dog shit. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of his play at the current moment. For B tier, yeah, this is the way I'm organizing it. For B tier, we'll do it like this. Yes, that's perfect. Jason Tatum still has a chance to go back to A tier, but his game has just fucking fallen off hard. I don't know what it was, but he went 7 of 30 yesterday, and that's pretty bad. So I'm not a fan of that shit. BI, I need to see a leap in consistency for him to be a higher echelon of player like he really should be. So once he's better, I expect him to no longer be on B tier. Pardon me. We got Drew Holiday next. B fits him perfectly. It's not a knock on him at all. Great two-way player, one of the best one of the best two-way players in the game right now, and he was a huge contributor as to why the Bucks won the chip. Why the Bucks won the chip, and so I was pretty good shit. Spider and right, Murray's hurt too. He's in. I have him coming back before them. Donovan Mitchell, he's at the precipice. Actually, yeah, I'm putting him ahead of everyone else. He's got a chance to bust out. He's got a chance to literally become a superstar. Him and Booker, but I need more consistency from the playoffs before I even put him higher. Next we have Chris Paul. He would be higher, but I have a feeling he was the reason as to why Ayton wasn't offered a max. I don't have any proof of it, but I also really don't like Chris Paul that much. I'm not going to deny his play, but he wasn't as good as he could have been in the finals of this year. But it is what it is. He's still a great player. He's just not A tier like he used to be, in my personal opinion. So we are that's where he's at for me. Rudy Gobert I have a bias against because of COVID and him starting it for the NBA. But aside from that, he's actually improving his offensive gameplay, at least from the preseason. So hopefully that transfers to the regular season. Hopefully becomes a 20-point per game scorer, still becoming a stifle tower on the boards and a dog on defense like he's known to be. If he continues up that trajectory, he will end up being a dominant big man on both ends of the floor, and I expect him to just shoot the fuck up and take the Jazz real deep in the playoffs if that were to be the case. Lastly, for B tier, we have Zion Williamson. Actually, we don't. We got Jimmy Butler. Zion Williamson, I don't know what's up with him. He's got a great ceiling. He just needs to do better. Or, I don't know how you could, stop getting injured, but he needs to stop getting injured. I don't know how, but it is what it is. So if he doesn't improve, like last year I think he was the most efficient player in the league last year. So that was fucking awesome, but I need more. I need him to be healthy. I need him to dominate. I need him not just to be. I need him to develop a jump shot so he could be dominant on every facet. So we'll see. We shall see. And lastly, in B tier, we have Jimmy Butler. I had him in A, but we'll see. I just don't see him peaking from 2 years ago. I think he's trending downward. But we will find out once the season goes on. A tier. Let me actually arrange this. I'm going to put Bradley Beal in B. Right at the precipice, because I don't know. Something about him, to me, just isn't clicking to be like a player you can competently build a team around. Like, he's great on the offensive end. He's getting better on defense, but he's still not at the A echelon of tiers in my mind. So sorry about this confusion, but Bradley Beal is top of B tier. Let's go to A tier. Jaylen Brown literally is turning into a fucking megastar overnight, and I love it. He is becoming so fucking good for his team. He's literally replacing Tatum as the focal point on offense, and he's a dog on defense. I expect big things from the Celtics this year, but we will see. We all know about Joel Embiid. It's his health as to why he is not on the S tier. If Joel Embiid was healthy, he would be MVP last year. but he wasn't, so he lost it. Devin Booker and Zach LaVine are going to be tied because they both have potential to break out to be legit superstars this year because of their teams and how they are built. I expect both of them to make deep playoff runs. I expect both of them to be their main focal point of offense for their team, and I expect both of them to step up big on defense. So these two guys, I'm expecting huge fucking things from them, or else they would go to B. But it is what it is. So next we have the reigning MVP Jokic, the Joker. I believe he has potential similar to Joel to be dominant. He just has to do better on defense. Once he raises his defense game, he will be a dog, a legit monster, a beast. So I'm expecting great things from this guy. We got PG-13 or Paul George. Paul George is proving the doubters wrong every year going forward since he's been in LA. They did very well last year, and now that they've been gelling together and had more time to actually play and practice without Kawhi, they have a chance to be dogs, and I'm expecting big things from this team. So we shall see. I'm expecting it. Next, we have Luka Doncic. We know what he can do, so by his skill set alone, he's A tier. We'll see what his team can do. They got a new coach, so we'll see if he's able to give them a deep playoff push that the Mavericks so desperately need. So we will go from there, and we will see. I will also do one at the end of the season as well. Next, we have Dame time, baby. Woo! Damian Lillard. I have him at A tier. He's pretty low A tier because they haven't had a significant playoff push in years. And he's been kind of shaky in the playoffs as well. He was shaky in the Olympics as well. No one's talking about that, but he was shaky in the Olympics too. So I'm not expecting him to be as dominant as he was last year, but we shall see. I do want them to go deep, though. I want the Blazers to have a deep playoff run so Dame does not have to leave. I want him to have a Giannis story for the Trailblazers. We shall see. Last but not least, in the 8th tier, we have Trae Young. Once Trae Young gets better on defense, he's going to shoot up to S tier. He's already a superstar, but he's got flaws in his game. His jump shot is literally, it goes Steph, Dame, Trae. Currently, nothing is better than that in the current game. So once he gets better on defense, this motherfucker is going to be probably one of the top 5 players in the game once that happens. And lastly, for S tier, let me actually arrange this. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. I have Kevin Durant. KD is the best player in the game. I don't care how good Giannis is. Kevin Durant is better. I do respect Giannis. His jump shot has become really good. He's still a dog on defense. And he's actually becoming a greater team leader even this year. The way they were suffocating the Brooklyn Nets on the opening night showed that this team is ready for business. This team is hungry. They want to redo it. Actually, let me actually look at NBA scores real quick. See how they're doing tonight. They were getting their ass beat earlier. So let's see the scores. God damn, they got 42 pieced. They got 42 pieced by the Heat. That's crazy. Okay. But yeah, they I don't know what was up with that, but it is what it is. I'm not tripping. This is fun. But yeah, Giannis is second best player in the league. Sleeper at third, I have AD. I don't have LeBron at third. I have AD as their best player in the league. He is the total package in terms of a 5-4 role. Giannis is a 4-5. In my opinion, AD is a 5-4. Once he's grounded at center and then he plays open floor, I don't think no one can stop that movement, especially with the IQ of LeBron James, which is actually a great tether. LeBron James is getting old. I don't give a fuck how well he's doing. Age is catching up, and people, we see it. He's getting a little bit more gas. He's getting I'm not knocking the Lakers at all. Huge Lakers fan. I want them to actually win this year over the Nets. And we all know I'm a huge Nets fan. KD is the GOAT. But I do want the Lakers to win because Melo. Melo is my third favorite all-time player. Goes Kobe, KD, Melo, Jordan, Iverson. But yeah, I just want Melo to get a ring. So LeBron is still LeBron, so he's still going to be one of the greatest of all time ever to do it ever. So he ain't going nowhere. But he is getting old, but he's still going to dominate the game as he's been doing. He's just AD is more dominant, but I will actually flip him because AD does get hurt. LeBron has longevity and fortitude. AD gets hurt, so good point. Good point. So yeah. Next we have Steph Curry. Steph Curry will probably go down as the greatest shooter ever. He reinvented the game. He's making dudes like Jokic, Embiid, Cat, all these motherfuckers be spacers, 3-point shooters as bigs because 3 is better than 2. And Steph showed that him and Clay that's how you do it. Lastly, we have James Harden. He's one of the most underrated point guards in the history of the game, in my opinion. His IQ, his IQ of basketball, how he handles, how he scores, he could do it all. His defense has taken a massive leap, and people aren't talking about it because he got hurt. But his defense has stepped up greatly, which is why Harden is the last S tier NBA player for this list, in my opinion. This was fun. This is really fun. I had fun doing this. I'll be back later. Probably gonna stream something. But yeah, this was fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. And we will continue this next time. I'll be back on later. Stream something. Don't know yet. But yeah, this was fun. Let me know if you guys like this. Leave me some ideas and comments on what I should do tier list of next. I'm open for anything. I can do research and all that shit to actually get better data on it. So yeah, just let me know. Before we go, let's have a smoke. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Awesome sauce. So yeah, it's been fucking awesome. This has been a great stream. So yeah, I will holler at you all later. It's been your boy, the Nerd Hero. Thank you all for coming to the nerd world. We are out. Seguda, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. I'm glad you are having fun and enough for you to want to subscribe. So much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.